Sean Hannity is just complaining about everything Biden's doing these days, including spending money so that people get vaccinated and know about the process. He has a problem with that, among other things, as you'll see.
We'll have to see. Biden's Interior nominee failed to report casino income on congressional ethics reports. So, but what are they really? This is all about spending. This is all about the new Green Deal. This is all about redistribution. This is what this, and by the way, and a lot of it now is you look at where the monies are going. This is the predicate. This is the beginning of the spending. You look at the items inside this: federal minimum wage increase, animal. They're going to spend money, $300 million for animal COVID studies. Socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. As we look at what's in there, student loan outreach, probably forgiveness, money for the National Endowment for Arts, National Endowment for the Humanities. That's back. The Institute of Museum and Library Services, $200 million. Vaccine information. What does that mean, vaccine information? It's everywhere, the information. All you need to do is hit Google. It's free. You don't just tell everyone to Google it. Dr. Google will tell you anything you need. And you can go to the official CDC website. So we're going to have to watch all of this. Well, this is going to be a full-time job, getting to the bottom of what this is, the transformation that we warned would happen.
You didn't just get to the bottom of anything. You listed spending items, which is fine. That's a part of your actual full-time job because you're supposed to be like on the news and stuff. That's not getting to the bottom of anything. That's literally getting to the top. That's what the top is. So anyway, JR, I got a lot of thoughts. What are your thoughts about Sean Hannity?
You don't have to have any details. He said spending on vaccine information.
Dr. Google.
What are you supposed to? Do you want information or not? So you want to Google instead in a YouTube video to talk about this, rather than people actually researching and spending money to use professionals, maybe people who know what they're talking about, to do this. What was the other part? Animal studies. I can't believe we're doing animal studies on this. Well, a lot of people have animals, and also I think they said it originated from an animal. I'm still confused on that, but
wait, JR, I mean, what does that have to do with anything? The fact that this disease, as well as affiliated other coronaviruses, jumped from non-human species to us. Why would you spend money on looking into animals? $300 million to potentially not have another pandemic? Yes, please. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, he said this is gonna be a full-time job getting to the bottom of all this. So this is Sean Hannity pointing out what the conservative, especially pundits, were doing during Obama years, which was anything. Let's find anything. We're gonna exhaust all of our energy and our money on just making sure we find anything. Animals, how could you? Ranchers, really? People in rural areas, vaccine information. And then they'll say these obvious things that make sense to look into and act like it's a crazy thing. But in the past 4 years, when their king was in office and he was doing everything indiscriminately and based off of nothing, the co-signers were just there. No questions asked. Oh, hydroxychloroquine, great. Hey, bleach, awesome. Hey, he didn't really say that, he was joking. At first I backed him up, then he said he's joking. Now I can say he's joking. No, you just follow the leaders, all they've been doing the past few years, and now it's time to go ahead and disparage anything else that's happened to make sure it's just a big political game. There's absolutely no principle, there's no policy, there's nothing that they actually want outside of complaining. Now, they may have said that about us, but behind any of the complaints that we had was based off of what they're doing and what they should do instead, and how this is hurting people. If you find all these things are hurting people with this money they're spending on these several different things, point that out. Dig a little deeper, Sean. Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, he didn't. He said getting to the bottom. He didn't get to the middle of any of those. What did we talk about? Like for 5 seconds. Why do you need to study animals having to do with COVID? Well, fairly obviously because that's where it originated, and it's likely that future ones might come from there. That's not the bottom, by the way. I'm not saying that's the bottom, but that's something below. That's below the fondant, to make a reference to yesterday. Anyway, Libraries and museums. Oh, these libs spending money on libraries and museums. What does that have to do with COVID aid? Well, it's a pandemic. People can't go to those, so they're probably economically hurting. So as part of our stimulus and aid, we're gonna try to sustain them as we have virtually every other kind of business in the country. All of this is so common sense that you can still disagree with it and say that it's not worth saving those things. But could you at least acknowledge that it's not randomly pumping money into a museum as if that's a bad thing? It has to do with the fact that people can't go. Vaccine information, just go to Dr. Google. Yes, people doing their own independent research on the internet's been working really well for America recently. But also, you just go to the official CDC website. No, but okay, sure, yes. But that's what these information campaigns tell people because lots of people don't know that that's where they should go, to the official CDC website. And also, and again, like I've been saying for months, I've been saying they're gonna turn against the vaccine. And for all of them, it's not gonna be as explicit as like Laura Ingraham or Tucker Carlson, where they're very much against this. This is a form of turning against it. Like for months it was, don't worry about the deaths, Trump's gonna bring us the vaccine. Now, even spending money to tell people how to get information about it is a waste of money and is really suspicious all of a sudden. Let alone the animal studies, the farmers and ranchers. Like what, so now you have a problem with money being spent on farmers and ranchers? When have you ever held that position before?
Yeah,
but again, it lets you everything. It's everything.
It lets you know previous arguments didn't mean much. Now there was times when they were talking about how, hey, we need to reopen everything because look at the mental toll that this is having on people at home: depression, mental health issues, suicide, drug use, alcoholism, all that stuff that they listed, which obviously was happening, right? So if you're concerned about it, would you like to put something towards maybe doing something about it? You know, instead of just saying it. So again, I'm not sure the depth that they're going for the farmers and ranchers and whatever help they need. But if there's a proposal that's looking to help people with whatever mental health issues that they have at home, maybe based off of being isolated or maybe losing family members, which has happened to families and friends of over 500,000 people, then do you want money towards that? Because you were complaining about it before. But the reasons you were complaining about it before is because you just want to reopen things indiscriminately. Now, if you want to put money into figuring out the best way to help those people, are you backing that up? Because they don't actually ever want to help people. They just want to get people to question what's possibly happening with no more information, just so they can rise up based off of a lack of information rather than rising up based off of information. That's all that matters. The less information they have, the better off they are because they can manipulate them better. Are you willing to help people or not? Because you got to put money towards helping people. That's definitely something these conservative pundits never want to do.
No. Just keep the government's hands off of the people who are already doing well, have always done well, and will always do well, as long as the government doesn't take their money effectively. And definitely don't spend money on anything because that money is not gonna principally help out the rich.
Well, it's supposed to be, exactly.
Well, we have a comment from a member, Aaron Parker says, I'm so embarrassed that I used to listen to that dolt. Trump definitely pushed me left and then I found TYT. Well, don't feel too bad about yourself. A lot of people, like it's very slick and glossy. It's on TV, seems credible, right? Not obviously, but they confuse you with high production values and stuff like that. And he gets everyone so emotional. They all do. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.